Hello again. I'm Joe Connolly of WCBS with producer Neela Caruso to tell you about a new New York Fashion Week, Bronx Fashion Week, founded by our guest, Flora Montez, who grew up in a broken home in the Bronx back when it used to be said the Bronx was burning. Now, she's an entrepreneur with a growing business in the fashion industry that had been inaccessible to her and many of the clients that she helps now. First of all, Flora, what is Bronx Fashion Week?
So, Bronx Fashion Week, some words that come to mind for me are it is a fashion house, but it's a different type of fashion house. We do everything that New York Fashion Week does, but we are about culture, about community. We're diverse and we embrace inclusivity. Fashion should never just be defined to, 6 foot tall, size two. So that's the main mission of Bronx Fashion Week. One thing I've learned is that fashion is more than fabric, and there's a story behind every stitch, and we're built on those stories. So,
Now, how often is Bronx Fashion Week held?
so we go like New York Fashion Week. We do events twice a year throughout the Bronx, and we do them in architectural, historical type buildings throughout the Bronx to highlight the Bronx. So we have a show in February, and then we have a show in September. But we also have different shows throughout the year.
So then you have more events than New York Fashion Week.
We do. So I support and collaborate with nonprofits to help raise money for certain great causes that are happening in the Bronx. So we have smaller shows throughout the year. For example, during Bronx Week, we have a show in the fall supporting Rain Inc. that supports the senior, population. We support Morris Heights with their fashion show for their gala, and they help the communities with a plethora of resources.
What
So,
kind of turnouts do you get?
my God, we've had 200 people attend our shows up until we've had 1,000 people come to our shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many models or designers would you have in a typical show?
So we have anywhere between we highlight sometimes single designers up until 15 designers, and we models anywhere from 50 to 60 models.
Wow, that's great. I hope you get press coverage from the industry, Flora.
We get local press, but the big names like the WWDs and the Vogues, they haven't come out yet, but I'm hoping they are, and I have
You-
faith that they will.
Do you contact them?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We do press releases. But the Bronx, unfortunately, does have this stigma that I have no idea why they don't come out, but it does have a stigma, and I'm trying to break through that. So, and we are, like I said. So
All
we
right. I hope Anna Winter hears about this talk. Let's get into the business model a little bit, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt you're going to do well. I mean, I look at your website and see such impressive events and what you've been able to build up from scratch here. Tell us a little bit about the business model, as Joe has alluded to. I mean, how do you guys bring in money? Is it sponsorships? Is it partnerships?
It's through partnerships and sponsorships. We are a nonprofit organization. We also have an educational component to Bronx Fashion Week. So we just launched a fashion pilot program at a local South Bronx high school right close to where I grew up. So we are expanding into that realm to be able to bring fashion to kids and plant that seed of entrepreneurship.
That's wonderful. What's your response from the kids when you come into the
Let me
schools?
tell you, honestly, I literally have fallen in love with 25 kids. We won't tell them that, but The response has been amazing. We had our last session this past weekend, and they actually came to me and told me that they had gone to the principal and told the principal that we had to come back. And
Wow.
I was in shock. I was like, "Really? You went?" And they said, "Yep. We told the principal that Bronx Fashion Week needs to be added to our daytime curriculum." So it's going great. We teach them fashion history. We're teaching them the runway. We're teaching them the behind the scenes of how a fashion house runs. Um, and it's been a great response.
That's
Really.
so cool. And so when these kids grow up, you think they're going to be wearing a t-shirt to work or they'll be dressing up in a suit?
I think the next CEO is sitting in a housing project just like I was with a dream, and I hope to give birth to a I want to say millions of CEOs, but definitely a few CEOs out there. Yeah.
Now, one more before I hand it back to Joe. I'm curious about fashion trends in the workplace. Things have changed a lot during COVID. A lot of people are dressing casually because they're working from home. Now that people are back, for the most part in the offices, at least, 3 days a week, probably. What is the fashion in the workplace look like? Are they sticking to jeans, or are they dressing up again? How important is that?
I think people are dressing up again. But I also think people are taking it easy and more casual. I know myself, I love to dress up like I did last night for the awards ceremony. I felt good. I hadn't dressed up in a while. I mean, I dress up, but more casually and comfortable, so I felt good. Um, so I think it's definitely a mix. I think more people are relaxed, especially after the pandemic. But I think, yeah, people are dressing up again, definitely.
Flora, what was the award that you won?
I got an award for being one of the power movers and shakers in the Bronx. I was honored with about, I want to say, 50 other Bronxites, and I was honored. I was grateful, and it was exciting, definitely.
That's great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I read in your bio, as I recall, that you didn't realize when you were growing up in a broken home uh, uh, that your neighborhood was as rough as it was. What did you think as you started to come up into, of all things, the fashion industry, Flora?
Um, that's a good question. I I think for me, the way I grew up and fashion and the woman that I was, right? And that I still am, because I'm not what the fashion world expected. I'm 5'1". I'm definitely, on the more plus size, and I'm Puerto Rican and I grew up in this broken home. But for me, the fashion part of it is about the inclusivity and the diversity. And fashion is in everything we do. You can wear a pair of pajamas, like I tell my students, and you're wearing something that is defining who you are. So for me, that was the fashion part. I really didn't realize how tough my neighborhood was until I actually had my son. And I realized that when he was 2 years old, I didn't want him growing up as fast as I had or seeing what I did. So, I picked him up and I ended up leaving the Bronx, even though I ended up going back. But um, so
It's the American dream, Flora. Just,
yeah, it
just,
is.
just wonderful. On these videos, I just want to say to everybody, we try to bring you inspiring stories that also give you ideas for your business as well. And I think we hit a solid double today
Thank,
with you, Flora. Thank you so much. Best
thank-
of luck. Sounds like fun.
it is a lot of fun. Absolutely am in love with the fashion world. I call myself the Puerto Rican Fern Malice because I admire her and I admire her story and I see myself like her. And I hope to one day meet her. I really do.
You will. We love your story. You can
Thank,
make it happen. You can now call her up.
yeah, definitely.
Thanks. Thanks,
So
Flora.
nice to meet you.
You too.